Welcome to Silent Betrayals today. We have some pretty complicated relationships to discuss, so let's get started. First, here's my situation. I'm a 29-year-old male and my wife, who is also 29, is trying to convince me to sleep with her 27-year-old friend. I don't understand why, and I'm not sure if I should do it. My wife and I have been together for 10 years, and I believe we have a strong marriage and a healthy sex life. A while ago, she asked me if there were any of our mutual friends I found attractive. I told her that I only had eyes for her. She said she was serious and insisted on knowing names. I refused to answer. She kept asking, and eventually I gave in and said a name. She then asked if I would sleep with her friend. I told her, of course not. She asked if I would if we weren't married, and I still said no. My wife said I was lying and kept pushing me to answer. Eventually, I gave in again and said, sure, if I wasn't in love with you, I'd sleep with your friend. That ended the conversation. In the last few months, my wife has often brought up her friend. Specifically, she has been comparing herself to her. For example, she'll make comments about how her friend has a better body or is more physically attractive. I always tell her that she's the more beautiful one, but she doesn't believe me. I get the feeling that she's upset by what I said and may even be jealous of her friend because she seems to have caught my attention. 3 weeks ago, my wife suggested that I get together with her friend. I was taken aback and asked her what she meant. She said she knew I wanted to sleep with her and thought her friend was more attractive. She reassured me that she wouldn't mind if we slept together and would understand. She also said that she thought her friend was more attractive than herself and that she would understand and wouldn't mind if we slept together. I told her she was talking irrationally and that I wasn't interested in her friend. She then insisted that it wouldn't hurt her feelings if I was attracted to her friend, and she really thought I should accept her offer. I told her no again. She then seriously asked me if I would sleep with her friend, and I said no once more. I asked her why she wanted this, and she said it wasn't a strange obsession. She just wanted me to feel satisfied. I told her that I couldn't sleep with another woman. She had been asking me to do this for a while, and she even told me that her friend would be open to it if I was. It bothers me that she discussed this with her friend. She seems really determined to get me to do this for some strange reason and isn't letting it go. I'm tempted to agree just so I don't have to hear about it anymore, but I really don't want to sleep with anyone other than my wife. Yet, apparently, she's okay with me being with her friend, who she's jealous of. This is such a strange situation, and I'm really at a loss. Can anyone explain why she's acting like this or offer advice on what I should do? I wanted to make sure my feelings came across clearly, so I spent some time writing down what I planned to say. What I said was, wife's name, I love you more than anything in this world. I don't want anyone except for you. I promise to be yours, and only yours for the rest of our lives. And that's what I want. I don't want to be with your friend. She is nothing compared to what you mean to me. I need you to tell me why you're doing this, even if it hurts me. I need to know why, no matter what it is. We can work through it, and it won't make me stop loving you. I just need you to be honest with me. I confronted her the night I posted, after we both got off work. She started crying and apologized, saying she was sorry for acting like this and that she couldn't help it. I cried with her and comforted her. After the tears stopped, she explained why she was behaving this way. Contrary to what many people suggested, she wasn't cheating on me. In fact, she thought the opposite would happen. She said she was doing this because she believed I'd rather sleep with her friend, since her friend wouldn't try to take me away from her. I was shocked by what she said. I asked her why she thought anyone could ever take me from her. She told me that since we've been together for 10 years and have only been intimate with each other, she was worried that eventually I'd get bored of her and want to find someone new to sleep with. I reassured her that I'd never get bored of her and that she would be the only one for me forever. She said she understood, but she was concerned because, as she put it, that's just how men are. She was afraid that now that we're getting older, I might cheat on her with someone younger. She then told me how unattractive she felt. She mentioned that she had been gaining weight, which didn't bother me at all, and expressed doubts about being able to continue doing the things she used to do in bed as we grew older. I told her that she is amazing in bed and that she blows my mind every single time. I then reassured her that even if we didn't have sex, I wouldn't leave her for a younger woman. She cried into my shoulder again and said she couldn't believe that I'd still want her after a decade. I reassured her once more that she is the only person I want for the rest of my life. Right now, I'm encouraging her to get therapy for herself, and we're planning to try couples counseling. I don't think this is a major obstacle in our relationship, but it couldn't hurt to seek professional help. While this seems like a happy ending, and I sincerely hope it stays that way, I'm still being cautious. It's possible that she wanted me to sleep with her friend, so that she could then sleep with whoever she wanted guilt-free. I mention this because I've seen similar situations before. Check out many of the other videos we've done. But of course, I genuinely hope this isn't the case, and that you two continue happily together. Best of luck to you in your future. Opie. Alright, gang, that one was bizarre. Now check out this next one. My ex, a 28-year-old male, tried to sabotage my new relationship with a 24-year-old female. I feel uneasy about it, so let me explain. Long story short, my ex and I were together for almost 4 years. I loved him deeply, but our relationship was very toxic. I had known for a long time that things weren't right. Toward the end of our relationship, we started to get a bit better. We went on vacation and even planned on moving in together, but the toxic behavior still continued. He would hang up on me when he was angry, ignore me, and eventually block me on the phone. He even cussed me out and told me to lose his number. In anyone's mind, that means he broke up with me. At that point, I was done. How could I move in with someone who acted like that? Even if I loved him, I wanted to make sure that our home life would be peaceful, not dramatic. So, I did as he asked. I lost his number. Well, I just kept him blocked. Months later, I ended up getting together with a very good friend of mine. Our relationship is completely different, and I feel mostly happy with him. But just 2 days after we got together, my ex suddenly reached out to me through his mother's Facebook account, sending long paragraphs about how he loved me and saying goodbye. I left my house, and apparently, my ex came to drop off everything I ever bought him. Such a dramatic move. Honestly, I would have preferred that he just throw everything out or keep it. It was mostly just random stuff. After that, I messaged him back to tell him my piece and said goodbye. A couple of days later, his friend called me, saying he was doing really bad, not eating, and all that. I'm very empathetic, so I felt bad and called him to check up on him. We talked, and I ended up meeting him in person. He told me he wanted me back, that he loved me, and that he would finally marry me. I was shocked. I had waited almost 4 years to be engaged, and he knew how much that meant to me. Now, all of a sudden, after I've moved on and have a new boyfriend, he wants to marry me. It was so confusing. I kept telling him that he had a lot of work to do on himself, and so did I. Maybe if it's meant to be, it will happen. I said maybe a year or 2, but in my head, I thought, okay, if you really want marriage, I'll consider it, but only in time. We need to make sure the toxic issues are gone. He got angry that I have a boyfriend and accused me of infidelity. I reminded him that he was the one who broke up with me. Then he sent me heart-filled messages, got mad when I didn't respond, and even created fake accounts to try to message me on Instagram. I told him that I wanted to maybe just be friends and work our way back to what we had one day. Then he sent me a screenshot of me and my boyfriend from a friend's party. He started cussing me out, blowing up my phone, and threatening me. Apparently, he found my boyfriend's cousin's phone number and texted him about me, telling my boyfriend all sorts of things. After saying how much he wanted me back, he then texted me, saying how grateful he was to God that he wasn't with me, and that he was glad I had an abortion. He also accused me of cheating on him. My ex then lied to my boyfriend, saying I went to his car and did a bunch of things with him, and that I was planning to break up with my boyfriend. He lied through his teeth, even fabricating text messages that I had to show my boyfriend to prove I was telling the truth. I was so hurt because just the other day, this man said he wanted to marry me and that he was going to work on himself and be there for me to see where things would go. Keep in mind, he is the oldest one in this situation. My heart felt so uneasy and confused. It was like if I wasn't with him, I wasn't allowed to be happy. I still think about him, but I guess I just romanticize what our relationship could have been. Well, it didn't exactly ruin my current relationship. My boyfriend now is very different from my ex, so he was more understanding of everything than I would have been in his shoes. I feel for you. Your ex is still toxic and controlling. He now realizes that he can't get a reaction out of you by being nasty, like he did when you were in a relationship. So, now he's using what he knows about you to manipulate you into reacting to his whims, even though you aren't together anymore. Be careful. Nothing has changed. He's still playing the same game. He's just wearing a different shirt. But you know that now. Moving on to the next story. Our last story is yet another one with some strange relationship dynamics. Here it goes. My 26-year-old male girlfriend, 25, is convinced that my 24-year-old sister is weirdly obsessed with me after she visited last weekend. My sister and I have always been close, hanging out frequently and sharing similar ideas and interests. We attribute this to our similar upbringing in the same environment with shared events and memories. I have always seen it as my sister looking up to me as her older brother. We share similar tastes in art, music, philosophy, and politics, just fundamental things, I guess. I've always appreciated this close relationship with my sister, and I continue to do so today. That is, until my girlfriend told me something that changed my perspective. I left my hometown and moved a few states away, about a 4-hour drive or so. I live here alone, while my sister still lives near our parents and where we grew up. So, her coming to visit is usually a big event. She enjoys seeing the city, drinking coffee, taking pictures, and just hanging out and chatting. She's always been this way, and we've always done these things together. My girlfriend, who I've been with for 9 months, has met my sister, Haley, 3 times. Each time, it ended in a catastrophic fight. Seriously, we've broken up twice because of them, with me somehow hurting my girlfriend's feelings just by hanging out with my sister. When my sister visits, my girlfriend says she feels like we are purposely avoiding her, when in reality, we've just already made plans with my sister. She wants to be with us the entire weekend. My girlfriend said that ultimately, my sister is weirdly obsessed with me. She pointed out that it's strange that we spend the weekend hanging out, drinking coffee, sightseeing, and going to parking decks or parks to take pictures, all while wearing matching flannels and beanies. In other words, it was all activities that a couple would do, but not siblings. I asked her if it would be any different if, instead of my sister, it was a brother or a parent. She basically concluded that my sister is so obsessed with me that she's caused my previous 2 relationships to end and that she's trying to ruin my current one because she doesn't want to compete for my attention with another girl. That's a lot to take in. It should be noted that my girlfriend suffers from severe anxiety and OCD, which I think definitely heightens attention in these situations because of how she reacts and speaks to me. I was simply trying to enjoy a weekend with my sister visiting. I made plans to hang out with both my girlfriend and sister, and we even surprised my girlfriend at her job one night. But my girlfriend has convinced herself that my sister hates her and wants nothing to do with her, so she believes we purposely excluded her all weekend. This put her in a terrible mood, causing her to pick fights over text and act distant and frustrated in front of my sister. Nothing you and your sister did together sounds particularly strange or overly involved. It seems to me that your girlfriend is insecure about you spending time with any girl other than her, even if it's your sister. I hope you two can talk this through and that she can work through the insecurity, or this issue will keep coming up. If anything, it's a blessing that you and your sister have such a close bond, as many families and relationships don't have that kind of chemistry. It's also healthy that you're willing to take a step back and reflect on the situation, maybe even seek another perspective.